What's up, quietshift here. As you guys probably saw from my recent vlog video, I was talking about break the code and how I was going to release a video about break the code. Well, this is this video. So some things I want to talk about with my notes up, you probably see through my reflection of my glasses. So I'm probably going to talk about will be talking about a little bit about the story, some of the controls, how hacking works, as well as how to complete levels and bosses. It won't be a step-by-step guide, but I'm going to be explaining more on how you complete it. So to start with the story, in GameMaker, I had a file in it that pretty much had notes on everything I wanted to do in the game. For some reason, it didn't quite save right, so not all of it's in there, but some of it is. So there's a good group, a bad group. I can't quite remember the names, of course, because it was saved in it, so I have to recreate the names. I'll have to think of that at a later time, or if I can remember it. But of course, you're part of the good group. Pretty much what happens is the good group found out location of one of the bad group's bases, those operations, because they were planning on doing some sort of worldwide attack. And so they're going to send you, the elite hacker, as well as spy, or disguised person really, to go into these bases and infiltrate them, potentially even stop future attacks, as well as read maybe some other stuff that you need to do. You don't get a gun or anything like that in the game, so you don't have to worry about shooting or anything like that. Because otherwise you bring more attention and they're more likely to recognize you. So I wanted to keep it so that they can't quite catch you. Controls WASD spacebar. That's for right now. Of course, I have to change it because I need to figure out how I'm going to quite do the hacking. But of course, it's a 2D platform sort of thing, so it's going to be pretty much a box sort of thing, stand still. It might move up and down with the camera depending on how big the stage is, as well as your screen. But it's going to be mostly focused on your character, and you're going to be W and S. I look down at my keyboard to figure out what the other one is. Would be going up and down like steps or ladders, depending on where you are. Pretty much along the edges, on the far left and far right, are going to be steps that can go from the top floor to the bottom floor. But in between is going to be more like ladders, I'm probably going to do, or it's going to be like steps, but they only go up or down the floor. Maybe two, actually. So it'd be like, you could take one and you can go up 2 floors, or of course 1 floor if you want to. Of course, depending on the level, depending on the size, you have unlimited time to set up, but you are limited on time to actually implement. There are some levels. I know one level that you don't actually have any time to set up. You have to immediately go in and hack into stuff to complete the level, which I'll explain more on completing levels and bosses, which will come up later. How hacking works, it's going to be like a little puzzle. When you hold space, your screen will slowly start getting darker in as you become more and more focused on the puzzle. During this time, of course, guards are going to be trying to find you, and so you don't want to get caught. So by releasing space, you get all of your vision back, and you can move around. But while you have space held, you cannot maneuver or anything like that. You will only be hacking during that time. Let's see, and on hacking, it's going to be like a puzzle sort of thing. I'm not quite sure yet on how I want the puzzle to be, but it's going to be more like a rotation sort of thing, where you rotate the pieces and you basically finish the line sort of thing, which is kind of funny because it's called break the code. But if you know how coding works, if you have one line of code messed up, all of your code pretty much doesn't work really, or at least most of it won't work. And so that's where I'm going with this. It's kind of like a joke sort of thing, where it's like you're hacking it, but you're at the same time not doing actual coding. So that's as far as hacking, as far as I want to talk about, because again, I still am trying to figure out how I want the rotation puzzle to be. I'm not sure if I wanted to create it where it's like lines connecting to it and you have to match all the lines together, or if I want to do it where it's like when all the pieces are rotated in the right way, you have one continuous line. Though, of course, it'll loop around and things like that. There's also going to be some other mechanics that I'm going to tell you about. There's going to be computers as well. So you can increase your time that you have, because you're only limited at actually a fairly short period of time. Saying that you hacked it in the time that I give you is saying that you probably hacked the console, like you finished the puzzle completely without pretty much releasing space. No guards that came to you, which is extremely lucky if you can, and I think that would still give you like a few extra seconds. So those people who are somewhat a little bit slower, that's what the computers are for. The computers provide extra time upon completing it. They have a different style puzzle. They're not going to be rotation puzzles. I'm thinking they're probably going to be like matching sort of puzzles. So it's like connect yellow to yellow, purple to purple, green to green, things like that. And upon connecting them, you'll gain time. Some of the computers will actually be owned by some of the people that are actually in the level. You'll know, they'll spawn next to it, and you'll get a little notification before the level starts to let you know that, hey, this computer is owned by this person. If this person goes to this computer, you'll lose part of the time that you got. But I'm making it so that you're still gaining time. You'll be gaining more time than what you'll lose time. So you still have to try and do it as fast as you can. Don't think that it's like, oh, no matter what, I'm gaining time. Because if you're in the middle of hacking and you have about 3 seconds left on your timer for the main console, you're just about to finish, and that person hacks that computer, well, you're out of time. Which is another thing, is lives. Are there lives? Depending on your difficulty. I'm going to release it at least with easy and hard mode. If I get enough time before I want to try and release this, I'm not quite too sure on release. I want to see how fast I can get this done, at least as well as I can make it, and as quickly as I can. Depending on that, I might be able to get wiggle in an extra difficulty, which would be the augmented difficulty. It's basically hard mode, except for you can choose which augments the guards have, or any of the bosses, things like that have. So like for instance, one of them, I'm thinking if I do an augment sort of thing, it might not be released initially, but I might release an updated version, things like that, where there's augments. So one of the augments might be like increased vision range, so the guards can see further. So you have to react and move quicker at a sooner time before the guards can catch you. The guards can only see in front of them, so you can stand behind them actually and walk with them, as long as they don't turn around. They can turn around at any given moment. They're assigned on a random sort of system, where as far as moving forward and backwards, going up and down. And I think that's mostly how I'm going to program them. I haven't quite started on actual coding yet. I'm still trying to come up with all the ideas I wanted to put in on my notes sort of thing, so I can look back and forth constantly to make sure that I get everything I want in it. But that's as far as hacking. As far as completing levels now, as you guys are all now wanting to know, is most of them are most of them are going to be when you finish hacking the main console, the level's complete. Some of them, they might have an extra little bonus challenge that you need to do. These will more happen the further into the game you get, and they'll have various challenges. One of the levels is pretty much stopping like a missile sort of thing, and so if you that's the level that doesn't have a setup time. You immediately go in and you try and stop the hack, because you'll know about it at the end of the previous level, about how there's a missile that's going to be going off, and you need to and your boss will tell you that, hey, you need to quickly get that missile redirected or make it not launch. So what you're going to be trying to do is, if you can finish it during the first time, you basically will complete the level immediately, and the missile won't go off. If the missile does however go off after the console time runs out, you get another chance to hack the console, which basically sends a signal to the missile to redirect it to another location, which you'll get the location, of course. This is going to be, I don't know why my light sometimes changes, I don't know, but you'll get notification from your boss pretty much on where you can actually resend the missile to. So upon actually completing the hack, you'll then have to input the coordinates. Don't worry, he'll tell you the coordinates when you get to it. You'll have to listen to it, unless you have, of course, the dialogue at the bottom to tell you what the coordinates are. My recommendation actually for this is you actually have the coordinates up even if you have audio, so you can actually see it in case you can't understand. Of course, I'm going to be getting voice actors. I might be getting Brian, as well as maybe Kenyon, to do some voice acting. It'll be mostly them talking pretty much into the mic. If they want to do another voice, they can. But I'm going to be looking for some people on campus and things like that, on my campus at least, to try and do some voice acting for it. Let's see. And then bosses. Bosses are going to be somewhat of the same sort of style, except for those actual boss that's going to be chasing you. He'll, of course, have somewhat more of an augmented sort of style. So maybe some of them, one of the bosses I'm thinking is going to have increased range, but it's not going to be as increased as the augmented mode. There'll still be guards, of course, in the boss levels. It's not just going to be the boss. but they of course have augments, and so when you do the augmented mode, you can actually select which augments for the bosses you want. If when I release it, there'll be like one augment for each boss. One of them, the bosses I'm making, is pretty much he'll follow you, except for he pretty much won't stop. So he'll follow the path that you take exactly, except for he won't stop. So, and the way you beat the level is you hack into the main console, and then you have to lock him into a room. There's a computer that's not too far away from the room that you hack, from the room that you have to lock him in, where as soon as it's pretty much like a switch. It's either on or off, and the person will be locked in there for 5 seconds. You beat it, of course, again, if you can manage to hack the console and, of course, lock him in there. You can lock him a number of times because he is actually slightly faster than you, so it's best to actually continuously lock him in. He'll be locked in there for about 5 seconds, and then he'll resume his chase on you. So it's constantly cat and mouse chase. I can't talk right now. I've had to do this recording now three times. So let's see what else about the boss. But of course, there's still be computers and stuff like that for you to hack as well to increase the time that you get. But of course, you have to be still quick about it because the guy is still chasing you. Though I don't think he actually owns a computer in that one, so all computers that you hack, you'll gain time from. So I think that's mostly what I want to talk about in this video. Of course, when I release the demo, I'll also release more video content about Break the Code. I'll release a video of more of like a walkthrough sort of thing, as far as completing the demo. Let's see what else. So I think that's going to be mostly it. Again, as I said earlier, I was going to do a giveaway of the game when it comes out. It's going to be, I'm probably going to just do an early release. I'm not quite sure if I want to even sell the game. It depends on if I think it's even worth less than $1, because the game is, I'm going to release it for anything. If it's going to cost money, it's not even going to be $1. I want it as cheap as possible. In fact, it might even be a donation sort of thing. I think I'm still with, can't remember the charity program system is called, but earlier in the year, if you read the descriptions, you saw I was part of some sort of charity drive sort of thing. And I'll probably put like something with that, where if you donate this much, for example, you can get the game. So it's not directly to me, it goes to charity, because sure, I'm a college student, but I don't really need it right now. And plus, based on how many people view my videos, I'm not going to get like hundreds or anything like that. It'll probably be, if you donate $1 into the charity thing that I'm doing, you'll get a copy of the game. And of course, I'll do full guide throughout it. I'll release a video of each level as well, and how to beat them, of course. And I might do some techniques as well. It might take multiple takes in case something happens in a level as well. I'll be making sure to test it quite a bit. I'll make sure the people who are testing in the demos as well. But yeah, if you want a copy of the demo again, you can leave a comment down below about it, saying that you want it. It's going to be for PC, so it's not gonna, it might be able to use Xbox controllers, but don't completely count on it. I'm not quite sure on how the Xbox controller actually works as far as buttons wise yet, but if I release an update for it, like I said, if I don't get the augments in time as when I want the game to be released, then it'll just be the game, and then later on I'll come out with an update version where you can get the augments bundle with it, and then it'll be completely free for anybody who already owns the game. So don't worry about like, oh, I gotta wait till the augments come out because I want to try the augments mode or anything like that. It's gonna be if you have the game, you get the augments. I might even do a pre-release for those people who actually own it, so they can have the game and then be able to play the augments before I release it the way I was gonna do without the other way, how you originally got it. Because I'm not quite sure how I'm gonna quite release it. Because I don't want to gain actual profits from it. I want I wanted to go to charity. But I think that's mostly what I'm going to talk about in this. So you can leave comments below about if you want the game or not. If you have any questions about the game, I'll answer them, but some of them I might not, depending on what it's about, because I want to keep some of it still secret. Not because I don't have it established or anything like that, but I want to keep it secret. So if it comes to final boss, I'm not giving out any information about that. I want that to be kept completely secret. I might tell you the name when I come up with the name for the final boss. I might give you that sort of stuff, but as far as how the level will work, anything like that, it's gonna be completely secret. I'm gonna be telling some people, because some people on the demo will actually be a different thing. It won't be the normal demo. And so, if you're not sure if you got which version or not, then if you feel like you didn't get the right one, then it might be the actual final boss test. So you might be a lucky person for the final boss. But if you do, keep it secret, because I think this final boss is going to actually be an extremely cool boss. So I think that's all I'm going to talk about today. So again, like, comment, and share to your friends about how much you like the game. Peace.